This episode is brought to you by Human versus Hamster, a brand new show where humans battle against hamsters. It doesn't even have to be fake anymore.
Great. Hello, and welcome to
Baby, that's Cont.
a conversational podcast about all of our favorite Cont.
I'm Joseph, and I have no funny intro line today.
I'm Kip, live from New York.
Okay, I definitely
Kipper
thought of a
time.
funny intro line before we started, and then we got here and I forgot.
Wait, you can either A, say it now if you remember, or B, save it for later in the week, because we're behind schedule.
Yeah, I'll save it for next recording,
Okay,
if I remember.
well, write it down.
Well, I will.
I did go search for the script and then find something funny I had put in the notes to talk about for this episode that I had forgotten about. So that is a good tip to do.
That's smart. Yeah, I don't think about putting the intro line in the notes because I forget about it until I look at the intro script and I'm like, oops.
Yeah. Do I look tan?
Well, the quality is really bad for me right now, so I can't tell. But yes, you do. You look great.
Thank you. I'm going to give it to me. You look good too.
Thank you.
Yes, we're delayed because I was in... Well, first I was in Miami for a 30th birthday party, and I was in London, and we've been accommodating.
I'm so accommodating. It's crazy, even.
Sometimes. But this time, yeah, so we're just gonna give it to you.
Thank you. I think so. You mentioned it already, like you're in New York, right?
Yeah, I got here last night.
So there's this podcast that I listen to semi-frequently, and it's the Prof G show, and he interviews guests like all the time, and he always asks them, where does this podcast find you? And I hate that he says it like that. I was gonna say that to you, even though I hate it, but like I feel like that makes sense as a listener. Like, where does it find you that you're listening to it? Because you could be anywhere. But like, if you're being interviewed, like the podcast didn't find you. Like you logged on to the podcast interview. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair. It's kind of similar to like when you're trying to ask someone who may or may not have a job, like, what do you do? Somebody fancy introduced me to the term, how do you spend your time? Which I think it's definitely in those lines, but I don't see why it's offensive to ask where someone is. Same way it is just what's your job.
I guess that makes sense. But he always says it like location. But if someone was like, I guess if you said, how does this podcast find you? It's like, not well,
bitch. Is it business focused?
Kind of. It's like about the markets in America and I guess kind of globally too.
Okay, got it. I've listened to Pivot, the podcast he co-hosts with Karen Fisher, that's like business.
Oh, yeah, I like that one a lot too.
Yeah. He seems really rich, so that's really good for him.
He does. I will say, okay, one thing really annoyed me post-election is it was like the day after the election. Well, one thing about him.
Oh, okay.
One thing about him is that the day after the election, he was telling everybody to remain hopeful and that given the big grand picture of things, like this was a video he posted of himself saying like, they're really, even things look bad. There's never been a better time to live in America. And there's still lots of like opportunity and whatever. And guess where he posted this video from?
The Canary Islands.
His house in London, famously not America.
Yeah, it's definitely easy to feel like better when you're not having to deal with it.
Yeah, it's like I would say read the room, but he wasn't even in the same country as the room to read it.
It is crazy how going overseas makes you feel like all your problems are gone. At least for like a week.
Yeah. Famously, I want to move out of the country for that reason.
How is that going for you? Really for Vancouver in like a couple weeks?
Well, yeah, we're leaving in 12 days. I don't know. I feel like a little bit like maybe we'll stay, but it's hard to say. It's day by day.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm feeling okay at this moment.
Well, famously having just been out of the country.
Yeah, but I started going to Miami, which is, a heat zone. By the way, it turned out I really like Miami.
Well, that's good.
It's great weather. It's a very walkable city. And a lot of very hot Latin men. It's a really good combo for me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you should enjoy it now before it's underwater, right?
Absolutely. It was nice enough that I was like, oh, I could have lived here if it wasn't for, like, all these things. The summer there are supposed to be horrible. The whole political environment and alligators. And hurricanes. Or whatever they get.
I truly feel like alligators are, like, if you live there, how often do you see one? Because I feel like they just be walking around town, like, every day.
Certain parts of Florida they are, which is the problem.
And, like, there is that kid that got eaten or killed by one at Disney World.
Oh, yeah. Although he was asking for it.
Well...
I'm just kidding. That was sad, but he was swimming in an area where it did say, watch out for alligators. So you kind of do have to read the signs. But he was only 2, so we're going to go ahead and blame the parents on this one.
Yeah. Your travels, anything you want to share?
Well, okay, finishing up the alligator topic, to your point, so we were like, Waterbury, and it was this super cute neighborhood, lots of like, older, very cool architectural homes. But it is such a Florida climate. Like, you can just tell you're in Florida from all the trees and all of that. And it really did feel like an alligator could be around any corner. They're not really in Miami, I don't think, so I felt safe. But yeah, Miami itself was really fun. It was a friend's 30th birthday party. These are like Amazon Seattle party friends, and they still go at it in a way that like I can still hang is what I learned, and that was really fun. But yeah, there was like a rage cage and beer pong and a drinking Olympics, and
wow.
I was up till like 2:30 each night. There was a group of people who stayed up till 7:30 playing this, like, it's called Dartmouth Pong. I guess they did it up at Dartmouth. It's like beer pong. You play with ping pong paddles. Hit it in, which in theory is fun, but a bunch of other rules that make you have to stop playing all the time and restart, and like very little gets done to move the game along. So I found it insufferable, but other people were really captivated by it.
I never heard of that, so
yeah, I hadn't either. I don't recommend it. It also involves like slamming the paddle on the ping pong board a lot, and where like you get really tired of having to smack it.
Jeez. Wild.
Yeah, and then we went to London, and that was really fun. I would say, okay, so moving into L of the week. So,
okay.
Flying there was good. It was nice. I used miles both ways, so they upgraded us on there. So we're in true first class. It was really fun. It was just like a bigger and better food. It was lovely, but not worth paying for. Is what I learned. But that was all good.
Yeah.
Had a great time in London.
Who did you fly? On
the way there, we flew American. So some of their planes have like a true first class where the seat's like extra big and it like swivels and stuff. Ooh. So you can like look like you're typing at a desk. So that's good. That's my own week. Yesterday morning in London, we're supposed to fly to New York at like 5 o'clock. And it's like 9 in the morning. I'm taking a shower. My phone rings, which is weird because you don't really get calls when you're international usually.
Mm-hmm.
And so I miss it because I'm in the shower, obviously. But it's a call from Virgin Atlantic, the airline we were flying back to New York. And just like, don't even really leave a message. Just get a text that says like, hey, is this call from Berlin Atlantic? Please call back. I'm like, no. Because I this is a bad sign. So then they call my husband, and he answers. And like, long story short, they had canceled a flight, not our flight, but they had canceled a flight, and we were in business on this one too. And so they were kicking us off of our flight in favor of people from other flights. So we were like, but you'll get compensation and then we'll rebook you to a different flight. Like, okay, whatever. So they were like, can you make it to the airport for like a 12:40 flight? So this is like, at this point, it's 10 a.m. So we were going to have to like pack and get in the car right away and like get to the airport and get on a flight. But it was going to be fine. So we agreed because that was our only option for the day, they said. And we like wanted to keep our business seats. And so we pack up, we race out of there, we get to the airport in time, check in, and they have oversold the flight they moved us to. And Brendan has a seat, but I'm being kicked off this one. And we had brunch plans with a friend that we had to cancel for this. Yes. So we're like, wait a minute. And we want to fly together, although we booked separately because we had our own miles. So this is a whole thing. So my LO week is like, gave up last day Monday, like raced to the airport and was like a mess. C, got kicked off a plane twice. They did rebook us. I forced them to rebook us onto United, so we still got to stay in business, and it was fine. But it was like such a nightmare, and it totally cost us our whole day, and I did not feel good about it.
That is the worst. Like, first of all, how did they get to kick you off of your original flight that wasn't canceled?
I will say that, well, they can kind of do whatever they want, is what I've learned. And the European airlines do have some laws they have to follow in terms of compensation. So that's going to be my W, is I'm going to get some money out of this.
It's still so crazy. It's like, there's the whole Seinfeld bit. It's like, what's the point of making a reservation or buying a ticket if you're not saving the seat for me? Absolutely. That's the whole point.
Absolutely. And I booked this, I would say, at least 6 months ago, maybe 8 months ago. Like, it was not a surprise to them that I paid to have my ass on that plane.
Yeah.
But because they had to cancel the other one, it just, like, throws everything into question.
Yeah, but that's not your problem. And now it was.
Yeah. The only thing we think is we hadn't answered the phone. I think that maybe had just been calling everyone, and whoever answered was getting kicked off, is the only thing I could maybe think of.
Like, I feel like they could ask you first, like, would you be willing to switch? But
yeah, it's possible.
Especially like a business seat. That's crazy to kick out a business seat.
I agree. I think it's because either A, we had miles, and so they're like, fuck you. Because miles money too.
Yeah.
Because we'll transfer them in, like, I think, which they get paid for. So, like, they do get paid for us using miles. It's not like a free seat.
Yeah. God.
But we'll see, because, so there's laws governing compensation. And when you're involuntarily boarding, like the term, it can be up to, I think, we died twice. So there's a universe where, like, I asked them for straight up the maximum, like, $2,500 or whatever it is. 2,080 Great British pounds is what I asked for, which I think is like 2,500-ish. So no response yet, but...
Well, I can't wait to hear the update on Scam of the Week next episode.
Yeah, this was not a scam. I was kicked off by United.
Wow.
It was fine. It truly was fine. But my quick United review is like, if you are flying business class and splurging, like, only pick United if it's a budget deal. If they are as much or more than other airlines, like, isn't as good. And that's my view.
That makes sense. United's not my favorite, but...
Yeah. But I was very grateful to be home. At that point, we were, like, at the airport, we'd given up our plans, and I was just like, give me the fuck home. I don't actually even care.
Yeah.
They did offer me an economy seat, and Brendan could have kept his business seat, but that wasn't going to work for us.
You beat you. If I was Brendan, I would have just got on the plane.
Well, the problem was that, like, we got to the airport at 11:26, and the check-in cutoff is 11:30, so we literally had no time to spare. So by the time they offered us, and we were checking bags because we're on a long trip, so by the time they offered us that, I think it was almost 12 o'clock, and, like, boarding had already started. So it was like, at that point, we were looking at, like, A, being separated, B, our bags probably not even making the plane. It just was, it just clearly was turning into a nightmare. Yeah. And I did know that there was United availability. You have to do this. They did eventually do it. But I've really learned with the airlines in particular, you have to know what you want and advocate for it, because they will not give you it. They were also offering us, like, we could connect in Paris, but then fly back premium. It was just like, how are you guys not, like, figuring this out? Why I have to do job for you?
Well, that's because people are bad at their jobs.
Yeah, it's so true.
And I'll say it.
Someone should. It is performance review season. I have to do all my teams tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to it.
Well, sorry. I'm a team of one again now in my new role, so I don't have to do that anymore for now. Well, thank God.
How would you rate yourself?
Oh. 8 out of 10.
Aren't you a department
of one? It's hard because I just started.
Yeah. But you're not easy to manage.
Definitely not. As my new boss, we'll soon find out.
Do you have L of the week?
An L? So, I feel like as usual, I just have, like, multiple smaller L's.
That's all right. We'll take them.
The small L I had was this morning. I went to the gym. I was like, I woke up. It was like 6:50. Just naturally woke up. I was like, I'm gonna get a head start and go to the gym today, and, like, be healthy. And in all of that, just, like, not my normal routine-ness of it all. I left my headphones at home, which always sucks.
You do that a lot. You need a checklist.
One thing that annoys me about my gym is they do classes, and sometimes the classes are, like, just in the regular gym area. So there's somebody, like, with a microphone and speakers, like, shouting instructions. So not only do I have to listen to the regular gym music, but I have to, like, deal with that.
That's so it's just,
like, it's more annoying than just regular leaving your shit at home.
Yeah. It's still that nice gym by the beach.
It is a nice gym by the beach. Not the one I used to go to a couple years ago. A different one.
Okay.
I leveled up, honey.
Oh, huge. In your unemployment era?
Well, I've been going there since I was employed to unemployed to reemployed.
Cycle.
I'd say it's like Equinox level, kind of, is how I'd describe it.
Oh, nice. But, like, with the addition of, like, loudness.
Yeah. So my other L is related to my W, which is, I'm really digging deep for the W's also, but the other night I had, like, a super realistic dream that I was added to one of my favorite podcasts. Like, I got to be on the podcast, like, as a regular.
Without even being on as a guest?
Yeah. Well, it's a dream.
Sure, no, I know, I'm just in the full picture.
So, the podcast is Fear and, which is the one with Hasan, Piker, and Austin. He goes by Austin Show, Cutie Cinderella, and Will Neff. But in the dream, like, we all know I have, like, a huge crush on Hasan. Yeah. Who wouldn't?
Did you see the progress pics he posted this week?
Well, maybe not the latest ones.
It was like a before and after.
Well, I gotta look at that.
I forgot you off of Twitter.
Yeah. Hasan Piker lookalike contest in my bedroom. So anyways, in the dream, he was giving me a platonic backrub, which I still enjoyed, even though it was platonic. And then we were interviewing Kamala Harris, which, like, maybe Hashtag too soon. But it was a very fun interview. And then we called Austin on the phone, and he was calling her Mamala, like from the SNL skit. It was just like a really funny, fun, also sexy dream. So then my L was that I woke up and it wasn't real.
Oh my god, that's fun. Well, Mamala, her stepkids call her that. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's cute.
That's really fun. You listen to him, he hosted Pods in America this week.
He did? Hasan?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Didn't listen.
I gotta catch up on all of my Hasan related content.
You do. And I'm more up on him than you.
Wow.
I think it's good though. People are really giving the Pod Save guys shit. And I personally don't think they deserve it, but I'm also all that up on it.
I don't know the lore behind all that, but...
Well, briefly, the lore, like, right after a debate in June, this really feels like 10 years ago, but it was not that long ago, they were the loudest ones calling for Biden to step down, like, immediately. And they really fueled a bunch of the fire. And they used to work in the Obama White House, like, with Joe Biden. So they know a lot of those people. So, they're getting a lot of shit from, like, that wing of the Democratic Party. Obviously, I'm a little lost, but it does not change the fact that Joe Biden was definitely going to lose much worse than she did. And so I don't think they deserve shit for calling for him to step down, because I mean, we'll never know, but it was very clear that Biden was going to lose.
Yeah, I mean, June was also like 6 months ago, and it's not like he said, actually, or they said, they're both named John, is that right?
There's John Lovett, there's 4 of them, John Lovett, John Favreau, and then Tommy Vitor and Dan Pfeiffer.
Well, my point is, it's not like they said, you have to pick Kamala and you have to wait till the last minute and you have to make all of the other mistakes you made. They were just like, this isn't working. He needs to go, which I think is an appropriate, like, objectively true statement.
Yeah, 100%. Also, like, what they could never have seen coming, and nor could anyone, that, like, no else, people could have ran it, could have still had, like, not necessarily an open primary because of the timing, but it still would have voted by the delegates, and, like, it didn't have to be Kamala. It's just that, like, Biden endorsed her right away. Everyone else said they weren't going to run, and so it just became her, but they didn't pick her, and it wasn't, like, preordained. It just happened so fast.
Yeah. Well, here we are.
Okay, our last night in London Friday night, we went to see. Do you know what Panto is? It's like very English.
No.
A very English tradition, but they basically just like, it stands for pantomime, and they're basically like during the holidays these like comedic, like spoofs or parodies of famous things. So we went to see one called Homo Alone.
That sounds good. This? No.
Oh, okay. That kind of got me because the description on the website says like 2 gay dads arrive at the baggage claim in Mykonos and realize they've left their son Kevin home alone. So that's what I thought I was seeing, and it turns out it was just actually very much the exact same as the movie, but like made a little gayer and a little like poorly produced.
Yeah. The concept of bringing your son to Mykonos is crazy, first of all.
Yeah.
So that's not an accident that they left him home, I think.
Yeah. Well, but that's not what the play turned out to be about. It's what they said it was about. It turns out it was still like a straight couple. There was only 4 actors, so it was parents, and then a black woman played Buzz, and the little twin played Kate. But then also
sounds like you got scammed.
They did get me. I'll give you that. It was fun to see it, but it was not like whatever. Yeah, but so we went home because it was late. We were just like worn out. But the gay flight attendant on our flight home was out that night at Admiral Duncan's while we were the night before. So what a scene girlies.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Oh my god, one of the flight attendants. Okay, so the gay one was like nice and lovely and like all good. The other flight attendant was this kind of like burly, straight guy. Very much felt like, I don't know. He just became a flight attendant 7 months ago. And he joined because he met a woman online who lived in London. So he became a flight attendant so he could get free flights to go meet these people that he's become friends with online.
That's crazy.
He told me this within like 20 minutes of me chatting with him. So I'm like, wait a minute. And one of them, guess where she was?
Mykonos?
Close. In Palermo, where White Lotus took place. You're getting scammed by the hooker from White Lotus.
I did not see White Lotus, but I have been to Palermo.
Wow, that's a brag.
Fun fact.
Because I have only
Wasn't
seen
as glamorous as the show made it seem. I'll tell you that.
Well, you didn't watch the show. Because they feel that dark underbelly. You should watch it. It's
that I would believe.
And it's really good.
I think there's a dark under and over belly.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Speaking of shows, we watched the newest Lindsay Lohan Christmas movie last night. Have you seen it?
No, I'm excited to.
It's called Our Little Secret. And, it's not the best movie, but
sure.
I think you'll like it. I think it's got to be better than Hot Frosty, which I didn't watch it, but I watched like the little preview clip, and I can't believe you watched that.
I love a holiday movie. My bar for a holiday movie is The Floor, and Hot Frosty did not clear it.
Well, if you like Lindsay Lohan, I will recommend, tentatively, the latest movie. I personally think the one from 2 years ago is amazing. Like, in terms of Lindsay Lohan count.
Yeah. I've seen that
I can't remember the name, but it's like the one where she gets amnesia and she forgets who she is. That's a good one. This one is close, but not quite to that level.
They're hot guys.
Depends on who you ask. To me, no. But to others, probably.
You have crazy taste.
But more importantly, Kristen Chenoweth is in it.
Oh, yeah.
She was really fun. I thought she did a great job.
I can't wait to see it. Well, we should reveal that you've now seen Wicked a second time.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say it. So, I guess that's a W. I did see it a second time.
I saw this tweet that was like, gays are so unhealed. What do you mean you've already seen Wicked 3 times?
That's me. At Thanksgiving, my brother-in-law's aunt was there. I don't know if that makes her any relation to me.
Probably
but
not.
I call her aunt. Anyways, she was pissed that I saw Wicked twice and she hadn't seen it yet.
Well, people had to prioritize.
I'm just like, it's been out for over a week. You're retired.
Yeah, she should have been seen at opening night.
Yes, agreed. Like, I know we got the preview, the little early screening, but 2 times in a week still isn't even that crazy.
I agree. And that was available to everyone. And if she listened to the pod, she would have known about it.
Exactly.
People are always being like with my travels, people are always being like, ugh, I just can't believe, like, I'm like, older people are like, I'm so jealous that you do that. I'm like, then just go do it. Nothing is stopping you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if they have, like, kids, maybe, but...
I mean, I'm not saying anybody ever has a reason they can't go, but there will be, like, rare people or whatever who, not that they're rich, but that they could do what they wanted, and they just don't do it. I'm like, sometimes in life you have to, like, have imagination and go do things.
That's what irritates me sometimes, is when people will say stuff like that, and I'm like, you spend thousands of dollars a year on, like, the dumbest thing, so if you really wanted to do this, you could not do that, and you could do this. But they, like, can't fathom that as a concept.
No, 100%. Because, like, we don't really buy ourselves nice clothes or, like, bags, right? Like, my physical therapist buys his girlfriend a new, like, $2,000-$3,000 handbag every Christmas. And that's lovely if you love that and care. But like that, and I'm sure they do a couple other things like that, and all of a sudden you have a trip if that's what you prefer. But so then I don't want to
Exactly.
hear
Like,
about you being mad about mine because that's what I preferred.
agreed. I'm so glad I like read that Ramit Sethi book all those years ago about how to spend your money in a way that makes you happy.
It really is great advice.
This shirt I'm wearing is from like 2017, and I still like it and love it. To your point of like not buying like new expensive clothes all the time, you
Yeah.
know? Obviously, a shirt isn't the same cost as like an international trip, but like it adds up.
No, but the principle applies. But even
Yeah.
like especially living in California, the way that people spend insane money on cars. Like I know people who I work with who make a lot less than me who drive like $75,000 trucks.
Yeah.
It's like okay, like I hope you enjoy it. But call anything.
Yeah. That's so crazy. But they'll never get to go on a trip, I guess.
Or they will in debt. But yeah, I don't know. People are funny. But yeah, I love the concept of spend heavily on what you care about and cut hard on shit you don't.
Yeah.
The other principle of meats that I love is that there are limits to how much you can cut, right? Like at a minimum you have to have a house, at least if in California you have to have a car. Like there's a limit to how much you can cut, but there's no limit to how much you can earn and how much you can spend. And that's the
That is
concept
true.
we
I feel like
love.
someone says that. Who talks about that?
I think Ramit does. I don't know if other people do.
Yeah. I think that's true. But I think people also interpret that as like, well, never mind. Cut.
Well, maybe you were going to say something mean. I'll say it. The other truth is that we live in a social media era where everyone thinks that they should have access to all these incredible things, but not everyone is capable of earning or doing what it takes to make it happen. And self awareness is not something a lot of people have.
I think that's fair, but I think the other part of it is also like, just because you see people posting these things all the time doesn't mean they're like there every week. Like, one thing about me, like, I love staying at the Ritz-Carlton. I don't stay at the Ritz-Carlton every freaking time I go somewhere,
Yeah.
right? It's like a special treat. Like, if I have enough money and it's the right situation, like, if I'm on a trip where I'm going to be busy the whole time, like, I'm not going to stay at a luxury hotel where I'm not even going to be there. Like, it doesn't even make sense, even if I had the money. Like, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But on the times where it makes sense and I have the money and that's what I want to spend it on, I will. So like just because you see me post like a picture there, it doesn't mean I'm there every single time, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's 100% true. People do take like photo shoot around a property and then just post them like over time.
Yeah.
Okay, so we went ice skating Thursday morning, and afterwards we went to get a drink in this cute little like cafe that overlooked the ice rink. And then the next group of skaters comes out, and there's this like blonde woman who looking like a all done up, looking great, whatever, at the end of the pack, and you can tell she's ready to go. So as soon as they had people on, what happened was crazy. So she like sprints to the ice, goes and hands her phone to her friend who's not on the ice to record her, which I didn't understand why the friend just didn't like already have the phone.
Mm-hmm.
But she then goes and does this crazy ice skating routine. Like she did flips, she did spins, and she did like the one where one of your like jump flips is the wrong word. Jump.
Okay.
And she spun around, where like one leg is up, and you're like, you know. I was gonna do it, but I have my headphones out. I was just gonna spin in my chair.
That would have been funny though.
Thanks, I thought of it myself. But anyway, she maybe had like 1 minute before like there was people all around the ice, and maybe like security people were like kicking her off. But it was just like,
yeah,
she's gonna post that video and look as if she's like private access to this skating rink and is the most beautiful skater of all time. And in reality, she paid $10 the way we all did to like skate on.
Okay, I do respect a good content hustle though. Like
she did hustle. She earned what she got.
Yeah, that's like content on a budget. I commend her. And to do that in front of everybody watching you is also like a whole extra level of like audacity.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that.
No, I'm too nervous. But it was so funny too to watch like this bitch absolutely like gliding and then see the people in the background, because we were to the side, like clomping their way onto the ice and like holding onto the side.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah. Then a little kid who has the like penguin still following.
I hate to laugh because in my mind, anybody who falls on the ice is like at immediate risk of getting their fingers chopped off.
That's true.
Which I don't know if that really happens, but is the way people fall on the ice is just so funny. You have to laugh.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my god, did we talk about Jay Leno's face?
Definitely not.
Wait, okay, did you see this?
No. What had happened?
What had happened was Jay Leno was like out in public. His entire left side of his face looked like Hagrid, like after he comes back from the giant. Like it's truly black and green, bruised, but like the whole left side of his face. And he's wearing a literal eye patch. And okay, guess what his excuse was?
I have to look this up.
Okay, but first guess what his excuse is. Because it will tell you.
He walked into a door.
No, he fell down a hill at Hampton Inn. Which,
see, he gets the hotel thing.
Well, first off, there's no way that man's ever stayed at a Hampton Inn.
Wait, I have the quote. This is what he said. I fell down. Boom, boom, boom. I rolled down the hill, hit my head on a rock, knocked me in the eye.
Oh my god, he looks so crazy. I'm seeing a new Hasan before.
But I have to just show it for those.
Yeah, you're gonna have to put the clip in.
That's crazy.
Okay, but there's no way that's what happened.
Well, what happened?
Well, the rumor... You know I believe it. I think you could share your screen on this.
Well, we have done it before.
Yeah, well, you know me. The rumor is that the mob is after him for gambling debt.
Okay, I absolutely believe that.
Yeah, because, I'm sorry, fell down a hill at a Hampton Inn, bump, bump, bump. Yeah, sure. That's like tire iron in the face.
I don't know. I think when you're that old, though, like, you could just be like, and then you bruise like that.
Yeah, we'll probably never know, but like, I don't believe him. I think it had to have been mob.
But I feel like they would just like mess with his cars or something. I don't know. He probably has a bajillion security or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really roll with the mob myself, but one thing I know about them is they're gonna get their money.
That's true. What's not worth it?
Gambling.
Oh. Okay, yes, and it's just like it's so fun when you win.
I know, and that's how they get ya.
I only recommend gambling if you're gonna win. That's my rule.
Well, if you know that, then go for it.
Yeah. I just always think that I'm gonna win over other people. So sometimes I have to take the risk.
I just know I'm not gonna win, and that really helps me stay away.
Just like I believe in myself, so
yeah, but it's
I don't know about you.
It's about the look, and it's about house always winning.
I guess so. I don't like Vegas gambling, but I like other fun betting forms of gambling, I guess. Like I bet you that something's gonna happen, and then it happens, and I win.
Yeah,
That's what I like.
Yeah, I'll throw $20 like on the Super Bowl, but
Yeah.
you know, whatever.
Or like tennis, we bet a lot at tennis about who's gonna win and stuff like that.
Oh, but that's fun.
Then at least I get to affect the outcome.
Yeah. Can you bet against yourself?
We've never done that, but
That's probably for the best. That's how they start to get you.
we do odds though. Like whoever's better gets worse odds than the people that are worse to try to like even it out. We have a whole system. So actually, the way it works is we pay into a pot when you lose, so we don't pay each other. And then what we're using it for is we have literally thousands of dollars at this point, and we're getting an Airbnb to go to Indian Wells in whatever that is, March.
Oh, fun! Like a fancy one?
Fancy enough. Because there's going to be a big group of us.
Two?
Weekend 1. I have a wedding on weekend 2.
Who?
Maybe future friend of the pod, Robin.
Oh, yeah.
And Stephanie.
Where are they getting married?
It's in Temecula, so it's nearby, but...
Got it. I wish them well.
I'm going to have such a fun March, because it's Wicked touring show, and Indian Wells.
In LA or San Diego?
San Diego.
Okay.
And then the wedding's at a winery, so, like... Good wine. Have fun time.
You're already making it through month 3 of the Trump presidency.
Well, yes. And after that, I'm out.
I want to go to Indian Wells too, but I don't know if it's going to work out this year.
Yeah, it is a fun thing, but it's kind of just out of the way.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, and I will say to anyone who might be considering it, the Ritz-Carlton is very, very expensive during that time. So you will not find me there because it's crazy.
How bad?
It's like thousands a night, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was looking at the Thompson. Yeah, they were like $700-800 a night. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. And I will say that one's not even like the nicest.
Ritz?
Yeah, it is nice, but it's very small and there's nothing there. So it's like feels not worth it. I only go like in the off season when you can get a really good deal.
Well, I'll consider it. But it's a special place in your life.
It does. And maybe someday I'll share. It just feels like we're near the end, so I can say that for the future. One thing I wanted to say is I went on a Moana journey this weekend. So we went to see Moana 2 with my niece and nephew. Famously came out the same day as Wicked. Or no, never mind. It came out like the week later because they were supposed to come out on the same day, but then Wicked was like, no, I don't want to compete with Moana, so they moved it. Like, they bent the knee. Anyways, Moana 1, I loved. If you've never seen it, have you seen it?
No.
Oh. Well, it has some good songs, and I think it's just a good movie in general. And Moana 2 was bad. The songs were meh. The plot didn't even make sense. Like, there was this one point where they get captured by someone, and she says, like, my boss is not going to be happy if you get out, escape. And then the whole rest of the movie, there's no boss. Like, she just made that up, I guess.
Okay.
Makes no sense. And then I come to find out later they're making a live action Moana already. Like, it's already filming. Which, like, wow. That sounds cool. Like, what the actress that played Moana was in the Mean Girls movie, the musical, whatever. She was Janice. So I was like, oh, that's slay. Like, I would love to go see her in another movie because I'm pretty sure she's, like, family. Like, I think she's queer in some way. Okay.
What's her name?
Maybe more than one way. I don't remember her name. It's like something Al Cravalho.
Oh yeah, Ali'i Cravalho.
Yeah.
I didn't realize she was in Mean Girls.
Yeah, she's Janice.
Her.
It's a very good character. I think she has the best song in the movie, like when they like go through all the high school right before Regina gets hit by the bus. It's the most fun song to me because they do like all the dancing and choreography. But anyways, turns out she's not even gonna be in Moana 2. They cast someone else.
Oh my god.
So I was shocked, appalled, angry, upset, depressed, all the feelings.
Yeah, the erasure at all.
And then after I told my sister how all of those things I was, she said that the actress Auli chose not to be in it in order to give the role to another islander woman.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And that she's going to be producer in the movie. So turns out I have no reason to be upset other than the fact that I won't get to see her.
That's very selfless. Maybe she's making a lot of money and I don't know, producers don't work.
Yeah, maybe she's sick of The Rock. And like, I wouldn't blame her.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
so that was my journey.
It. Did the kids like the movie?
They loved it. But, you know, they have bad taste.
Classic. Do you have anything else to discuss?
That's it, I think.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. New episodes come out every...
Actually, I have
We've really switched roles today. Well, you started reading my part, so now I'm just reading your parts. But continue.
No, I have one extra funny bonus.
Okay.
Have you seen this show? It's called Human versus Hamster.
No, nor have I heard of it.
Okay, perfect. So I've been always thinking, like, what would be a fun reality show to go on? And this is it. And so what it is I saw a clip of it. They basically build like a gigantic human-sized hamster tube obstacle course thing. And you have to race through it, obviously, while a hamster is racing through a identical hamster-sized one.
That's great.
And you have to beat the hamster to win.
How do they make sure this is fair?
I don't know. Like, I was trying to find a clip I could show. I couldn't. But if you go on YouTube, you can see. And it looks hilarious.
Oh my god.
I would love to go on it.
Yeah, that's really fun. Where can we watch?
It's on Max. Not that we're sponsored, but you can find it there.
Oh, Max Insta. Okay, great. Wait, remember you had such a funny idea for a bit where we were going to be fake sponsored each episode, and then you never did it.
Yeah. This episode is brought to you by Human versus Hamster, a brand new show where humans battle against hamsters. It doesn't even have to be fake anymore.
Great.
That's crazy. All right. Well, that's all.
Thank you for listening. New episodes come out every Tuesday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Please follow Baby That's Cont on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. You can also follow us on our own Instagram accounts at JoJo_Patron and at Queen Kip.
Bye, everyone. We'll see you next Tuesday.